January 8, 2005. A quiet, chilly morning in Tucson, Arizona. Martin, a local resident, shoveled through his mail like any other day only to find a nondescript package with no return address. Inside, no note, just a single VHS tape. Curious, but uneasy, he slid the cassette into his old camcorder and hit play. What unfolded was not a home video, nor a prank, but the haunting final confession of his close friend Ricky Rodriguez. The tape was nearly an hour long. It showed Ricky in his apartment, surrounded by crude tools, a power drill wrapped in cloth to muffle the noise, duct tape, socks used as gags, and a soldering iron. In a calm, almost emotionless tone, Ricky explained that he wasn't trained in torture, but he didn't need to be. He wasn't doing this for pleasure. He was doing it for justice. But this wasn't the plan of a madman. It was the endgame of a life shattered from the very beginning. Ricky Rodriguez was born on January 25, 1975, into the clutches of one of the most notorious religious cults in modern history, the Children of God. His biological mother, Karen Zerby, was already a high-ranking member. When Ricky was just 2, he was adopted by the cult's founder, David Berg, also known as Moses David, who proclaimed Ricky to be a divine child, destined to lead the group. Outwardly, Ricky was treated like royalty. In reality, he was subjected to horrific abuse. The cult used scripture and twisted theology to justify unspeakable acts against children. David Berg even wrote a book, The Story of Davidita, which documented the abuse Ricky endured, framing it as spiritual education. Ricky wasn't a prince, he was a prisoner, used as propaganda. As he grew older, Ricky saw through the lies. In 1999, he escaped the cult's compound in Mexico with his girlfriend Elixir. They fled to the US, trying to start a new life. Ricky found work as an electrician. He married Elixir. They moved to Tucson. In early January 2005, Ricky reached a breaking point. David Berg was dead, but Karen Zerby, his mother, now led the cult, and it was still active overseas, shielded from prosecution. So Ricky made a decision. He recorded his confession, his manifesto. He mailed it to close friends and family people. He wanted to understand what he was about to do. There is this need that I have. It's not a want, it's a need, and I wish it wasn't. But it is. It's a need for revenge. He had tracked down Angela Smith, one of his childhood nannies and abusers. He invited her over for dinner. On January 8th, he followed through. Angela entered his home. Only Ricky left. The next day, he drove to Blythe, California, checked into a motel, and called his wife. On the call, he broke down, admitting that killing Angela hadn't brought peace, it had shattered him further. He couldn't go on. Authorities found his car a few miles away. Ricky was inside. He had taken his own life. To this day, the Family International, formerly the Children of God, remains active. Karen Zerby is still in charge. And while the world moved on, Ricky's tape remains a grim reminder. Justice was never served. His message lives on. But his killers walk free. On October 4th, 2006, a quiet voice shattered the morning at Barrie Police Department. "My children are dead," the woman said, calm, emotionless. That woman was 31-year-old Frances Elaine Campion. Officers rushed to her home. Inside, they found 2 little girls, Serena, age 3, and Sophia, just 19 months, lying lifeless on the bed. Clean clothes, earrings, peaceful expressions, but unmistakably gone. What puzzled investigators wasn't just the scene, it was the footage they found. Elaine had been recording her life obsessively. Birthdays, laughter, playtime. But over time, the tone changed. In her final videos, she ranted in front of her daughters about her abusive ex-husband, Leo, and his family, about custody battles, about betrayal. "You won? Are you happy? How does it make you feel?" she asked the camera moments after ending her children's lives. Then came her suicide attempt, which failed. The videos were used as irrefutable evidence. Elaine was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 25 years. In 1998, a group of thrill-seeking teens found an abandoned mine in Nevada. A sign warned them, "Stay out, stay alive." But they went anyway, filming their entire descent. The footage showed them mocking the danger, crossing collapsed wooden bridges, breathing dust and toxic gas, until one of them, Adam, decided to climb down a rope hanging from a shaft. The rope snapped. He fell 65 feet. Screams filled the tunnel. Somehow, he survived, but barely. It took hours to rescue him. A miracle. But one wrong move and the whole group could have been buried alive. February 25th, 2022, 5 divers Christopher, Kazim, Youssef, Rishi, and Faisal entered a pressurized habitat inside an underwater oil pipeline. Seconds after opening a valve, a pressure imbalance turned the space into a vacuum. Water flooded in. All 5 men were violently sucked into a 30-inch pipe at lightning speed. Trapped inside, they found a tiny air pocket. Injured, terrified, suffocating. Christopher eventually escaped. The others were left behind. The company refused a rescue mission. 4 men died inside that metal coffin. April 28, 2000. 22-year-old diving instructor Yuri Lipskiner Egypt's blue hole alone. It was a fatal decision. Ignoring expert advice. Yuri's rapid descent caused nitrogen narcosis. His buoyancy control device failed. He panicked. His camera captured everything: his distorted breathing, erratic movements, the final seconds before he slipped to the ocean floor. 377 feet down, he died with no one around to save him. These stories, Ricky's tape, Elaine's confession, Adam's fall, the pipeline footage, Yuri's dive, they were never meant to be seen by the public. But now they serve a purpose, a warning, a legacy, a haunting record of what people are capable of when pushed to the brink.